Scrollies listeners, hello. This is me, Team Ratnado, here once again with my co-host.
Hi there, it's the Demolitioner SqatCobblr.
Demolitioner?
Yeah, I'm the Demolitioner. That's my new name, my new tagline.
Go find him on Xbox. That's his gamer tag on there, Demolitioner. You'd think SqatCobblr.
Demolitioner underscore 420.
XXX underscore. Oh, wow. Hey, that's definitely a good name to go out. People see you. They know what you're about. And as always, what you been playing?
Oh my, what have I been playing? You know, I loaded up. I've realized, Ratnado, it's my summer game. You know, I get into it each season when the weather starts to warm up, when the leaves are fully grown in on the trees, and when you can feel that sea breeze blown in from afar. It's Sea of Thieves. I'm jumping back into it for the third year in a row. This time around, I guess in anticipation, possibly, of the Monkey Island crossover that's coming in July.
Oh.
So that's exciting. It's gonna be like the Pirates of the Caribbean, like a story-driven thing, but you can do it with your crew. So who knows? Maybe the pirate crew will reunite once more for that. But so far, just taking it easy, doing some basic grinding away at the general quests, growing up with old Sea of Thieves friends that I've made on the seas. And hey, you know, nothing like a little bit of gold to sink into your cosmetics, since that's all you can really get in the game.
That's fair. Wait, so did the Sea of the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff is over? Is that like out of the game? Was that just a brief time you could do it, or is it still there?
Oh, it's been added to the game indefinitely. You can still go and do all those missions. I don't think we ever finished that last chapter, but we I guess say, you know, better late than never. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like the Pirates of the Caribbean content was a little lacking. It felt kind of repetitive. I liked all the references to the ride and to the movies, obviously, but I don't know. It kind of lost me at a point. I think that goes for you and the rest of our crew as well.
Yeah. I think at the time the problem was just like staying together and everyone's internet working. Like that was and it wasn't me. So imagine a time
when you had solid fiber. Now how the turns have tabled.
Yeah, I think we attempted it a bunch of times, but man, that was a good summer, the Sea of Thieves summer, and now your third annual. The third annual
SqatCobblr ship sailing extravaganza. Last summer was pretty cool because they introduced the captaincy update, which in my opinion should have been in the game to begin with. It lets you name your ships, and you can like basically grind away under your ship instead of just under your character. So you can own a bunch of different ones, a whole fleet, and a few extra perks come with that. But this year it's more or less, you know, kind of just the same deal it's always been, except for this Monkey Island crossover, which is coming in July. So haven't played that yet, but they've added a few things to the game since then. They changed an entire island into like this like town. It used to be just a bunch of like beaches and like a few shacks, but now it's a whole entire town. So that's cool, I guess. I kind of miss the old one. The old one was the vibe, but I like this new one too. I just wish it was, you know, not replacing that previous one.
Yeah, there's plenty of water. Just give us a new island.
It's more islands. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun game. I mean, I don't think I've played it since that summer when we all played it together, and I mean, not that I wouldn't, I just haven't.
Whenever I've asked, he's always said, "Oh yeah, come to me when I'm the last crew member you need," and I'm like, "Okay."
I need one more job. That's when I'll play, when there's one more job.
That's right. Out of retirement, he comes for one last go around.
I'm getting too old for this.
Ratnado, how about yourself? What have you been playing?
A lot of Tears of the Kingdom. I finally really jumped in and have spent some time running around playing it, rather than just like jumping on for like 10 minutes and being like, I don't know, I'm gonna go look around. Like, I've actually kind of opened up the map. I've started going places and doing things, and yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, everyone's playing it at the moment. You might be playing it a bit yourself at the moment, and it's good so far. I mean, there's not a lot to say, minus that I'm getting used to all the tools, and I'm having a lot more fun with these shrines, just because there's so much more to do. The only thing I will say is that I need to get to the point. I guess there's like no way that they could do like a creative mode that has no effect on anything, but I just want to create. I just wish I could just create and just have things work rather than here's this tiny little battery, and if you want to use a rocket or a laser, guess what? You can do it for 4 seconds.
Oh, interesting. Because back when we talked the Breath of the Wild anticipation of Tears of the Kingdom, you said you didn't care if you could build a tractor. So now it's all you want to do in the game.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like it fights against itself, which is kind of the same thing of like combat with the breakable weapons.
Sure.
The combat's so much better, but I never want to do it because I'm like, well, I'm just going to lose all my weapons. So similar thing, I do want to build, but the game's like, well, we're going to punish you for doing the thing that seems fun. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I just really won't do that. I'll just run everywhere, and that's fine.
Is what it is, I suppose. Yeah, fair enough. You know, I have played a little bit more Breath of the Wild, not too much lately. I gotta get the whole entertainment system hooked back up in this new apartment. But the last thing I undertook was I went not the way the game wanted me to go, because the game was very heavily pushing me, Rito, go to Rito. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to go to Goron instead.
Yeah.
So despite 3 reminders to go over that way, I'm heading up to Death Mountain. And I went there, won't exactly say what I found, but I found some tomfoolery afoot, some shenanigans. And I said, well, I'm here to put a stop to this. And I did. But in the process, I think I skipped an entire dungeon. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I feel like I should have had a little more between me and this thing that I found than I did.
I think I'm pretty sure I've done all that. And, well, you just keep going.
I keep going. Okay.
You're doing great.
That was the last thing I did, so I don't know what lies on the other side just yet. But yeah, I decided I want to play it in reverse order that I played Breath of the Wild. So instead of going Zora, Rito, Gerudo, Goron, I'm going to go Goron, Gerudo, Rito, Zora.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then whatever I find in the middle, you know, it's who knows what's between here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Very good, very good. Well, I think we'll both be playing that. I mean, like, obviously, there's a lot of other things. I played the Final Fantasy 16 demo. It was pretty cool. It's about... I won't go too into depth, but... Well,
I'm glad you got to demo that game, so you know for sure whether or not you'd actually want to pick up the full version. It's pretty handy, isn't it?
Gosh, yeah, well, there was almost a point there where I was kind of like, before I knew about even 14, because it's the same people, Yoshi P, as people call him, and Masayoshi Soken doing music. It's like all the people who worked on 14, and so before I knew all that, I was like, I don't know, this seems kind of like generic. And now that I know them, I'm giving them a chance, and the demo seems pretty cool. I do have some reservations. It doesn't feel very Final Fantasy.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
But there's a lot of people, I think that's a sell to most people of like, this just seems like kind of generic Game of Thrones with a little bit of Final Fantasy, and I'm like, I think that means people are gonna like it.
I mean, there's still chocobos. That's all you need, right?
Not even close. No, you need a lot more.
Well.
the game. Well, no,
goes to show what I know.
No, it's good. It's fine. And the only thing is, some of the combat gets a little stale, but I don't know if I'm coming that from the direction of Dark Souls, Sekiro, Stranger of Paradise with like really, really engaged combat. And I'm like, this is really boring, but for like, I don't know, normies are going to be like, yeah, this is really fun and it's a lot to remember.
So what you're saying is combat has changed.
Yes. I think it'll be a challenge for most people. I think just like people think, like, if I have to remember more than 3 buttons, it's complicated. It's like, I think this will be complex for a lot of. It'll be just right for a lot of people.
Sure enough. Well, I'm certainly glad you got to demo that game, Ratnado. Demos, yeah. They're pretty great, aren't they? When you don't know for sure whether or not you want to invest in the full thing, you just play little snippets.
Or if you're a young kid and you don't have. You don't have the ability to buy tons of games. Demos are there to give you a taste of a bunch of different things. And perfect segue into our topic today.
Whoa! How about that?
If you can believe it. Demos, SqatCobblr. Are you a demo guy? Do you play them? Do you like them? Or do you just like wait until the game comes out and then buy it?
I'm usually a wait for reviews kind of guy. I don't usually... I don't know. I've only been beaten to the ground so many times over getting overhyped for things and then being ultimately disappointed. So nowadays I wait to see if it's at least a decent overall experience, and then maybe if I want to hold off for a little bit, I'll get a demo to whet my palate before I go and invest in the full thing. But usually I only download demos for games that I actually intend to get down the road. I'd say on occasion, yes, I am a demoer. How about yourself?
Yeah, I think lately these days I really like demos because I like to just give something a try, even if I don't think I'm going to buy the whole thing. And I think that just the way time goes, the way money goes, the way things are today, a lot of people are enticed into certain things just because, hey, give it a try. You're not losing anything. You're not getting anything, and you might like something. Specifically, hey, dead meme maybe. Did you know the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV has a free trial which includes all of a realm reborn and the award-winning Heaven Expansion up to level 60 with no restriction on playtime? You know?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Now I do.
And we're always trying to tell people that, and a lot of people have given it a try. Some people like it, some don't. Famously, Warstaff wasn't able to get past the tutorial.
That's Warstaff's wrath, insinuating he can't get past tutorials.
No, yeah, I know he can. He just chose not to, and that's totally okay. Recently, Voice of the Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars, Harvestella. There's been a lot of demos in these games that I've been kind of interested in, but I'm not gonna invest in.
Surely. Well, Ratnado, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to the childhood that we all remember fondly, with no imperfections in the system of delivering demos to young impressionable youths such as ourselves. What were demos like back then? They weren't downloaded straight to your console, were they?
No, back in the day, there was a lot of different ways you get them. Magazines, the way those worked, and even before, I don't think that could have been a thing before, and I don't think it would be a thing now. Although I suppose it could. A lot of consoles use discs, right? But as soon as for now,
they're actively trying to phase them out. I think is pretty obvious.
Yeah, but there's a brief, beautiful moment where everybody's PC had a disc drive, a CD drive, a DVD ROM drive, and you had your PlayStations. You had all these different things that took CDs as well. And for that brief moment, there was all these compilations you could get for different things. I myself remember I had a bunch of them for PC, some for PS2, and one of the ones that I remember using the most, which let's see, well, actually, there's one PC one that I've actually actively been trying to find because there's this point-and-click adventure game that I cannot remember.
Ooh. Should we all be on the lookout? Tell us, what was it about? Maybe we'll have the scrolly masses scour the internet archive for you.
I don't know. I've gone to how they have the magazine archives and stuff up there. I've gone through those, all the different ones, PC mags, all those, and being okay, what's this? I'm gonna look them up, and I haven't been able to find it. But it's a point and click adventure game. I think it was kind of like a post apocalyptic, but a comedy game, if you will.
Oh, Croc would know what it is then. Ask him.
But it wasn't. Yeah, it was post apocalyptic, but kind of in the same way of Adventure Time, where it's a little bit whimsical and there's monsters and stuff like that, and you're just this guy who dresses like TJ Detweiler from Recess, but you're an adult. And it was a little bit raunchy, a little bit mature, but not overly so. And I remember as a 10 or 11 year old playing it, this is really fun. I haven't heard of it, haven't seen it since, and I gotta find that disc.
And folks, help Ratnado out if you know of this unknown game. Let us know. Tell
PC, it would have been probably between 96 and then 2000, and it's a point and click. I don't. That's all I remember. I've been trying for so long. One day I'll find it again.
There are the details. Get the Reddit detectives on it. That's more than enough information. They were able to find Shia LaBeouf based on the stars, so anything's possible.
But yeah, those, I mean, just the easiest way to do that is those, and they came with all these different things. You never had any of those, did you, SqatCobblr, or did you?
I never had a video game magazine subscription, nor did I ever have a mail-in disc. I know a few of my cousins did. I think Legend of Zelda Master Quest on GameCube, I think that was a mail-in bonus. So they had that, which came with Legend of Zelda Original, Adventure Link, the two NES games, and then Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, along with Ocarina of Time Master Quest, all on one disc for GameCube. So I played a little bit of that, but that was obviously theirs, not mine. My experience with demos is pretty relegated to, I think, a point that's still more or less in existence today: the in-store demos, the kiosks. Yeah. Any and all games that I wanted to just see in action, I had to go to Toys R Us, rest in peace, or GameStop, or Target, even Walmart. If I was really desperate.
Walmart.
I'd go up there. I'd see it'd be the lone console in like a bulletproof glass case, so you couldn't run off with it, along with controllers that were likewise just wired in and super uncomfortable because they had so much security systems on them. Yeah. And you just play them like that. I can thoroughly remember my first experience with Super Mario Galaxy was in a GameStop environment such as that. And I remember thinking, wow, they took that one part of Mario 64 where you run up the walls and turn it into a whole game. That's what I thought as a youngin'. And I was blown away. I thought, wow, this is the future, man. Nintendo's really got it where it's at on the Wii. It's just the best system ever made. Well, it's the number 5 system ever made, but I'll digress.
Yeah, I do remember that. I feel like, do they still do that? One of the last things I remember is maybe like early Xbox One times, and like maybe Switch, or it was probably Wii U at the time, probably the gamepad, because they lock those things in, like you're saying. They have the whole like cable that goes in and really locks up tight. And I guess I just don't go to stores very much anymore, but I feel like I don't see those anymore. But
I think they're still around, but they've changed a bit. I think for the most part, they now just play trailers. Like the system is still hooked up, but they more or less are just like streaming a YouTube video.
Yeah.
But then if you like hit a button, it'll like take you to just like this interactable menu where you can scroll through all the games. And then some of them, at least on the Switch, will have a little play demo icon underneath it. I think I don't know if I haven't seen it for PS5 or Xbox Series, so I don't know if they have that still in existence, or at least in the ones in the stores that I've gone to. But I know Switch still does, and I've played a few demos in stores like that. But not really much of a need to, considering all these systems that we own and presumably play since we own them. They have online stores now where you can just directly download the demos from. The Nintendo eShop, the PlayStation Network store, the Xbox store. You can get your demos off of there, and usually it's just a little snippet of the whole game. It's not some specially made environment. You just play it until you can't play it anymore, and it says, buy the game, you cheapskate. And you're like, all right, fine, I will. Or I won't.
A lot of them do a really cool thing where they like move over as well. They'll take your data and save it over, which is pretty neat.
Some of them do, yeah. I've had a few where I think they intentionally don't do that, so you have to either just keep replaying the demo or buy the full game to actually save your progress. I remember Ori and the Blind Forest I was able to get on Switch as a demo, but that was a caveat, was you could not save in it. And I don't know how long it went. I think it went up to the first major boss, but I ended up buying the full game before I even beat the demo, so there you go.
Yeah. I think one thing I've noticed too is that these days it's like they when they're gonna do a demo for it, they build it that way to give you a certain slice of it. But I think, was it Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty? Obviously, in that demo disc, it's a phrase that, I don't know, everyone's probably heard it by now, but back in the day, this was like a new thing. But the idea of like a vertical slice, that they're giving you everything rather than just being like, for example, I think Voice of the Cards that I was talking about earlier. It's kind of like, well, and here's the opening of the game that even if you didn't do the demo, it's exactly the same. It plays out whatever, and here's just how the game goes. Like those ones, they actually they build it and say, here's an opportunity where you can use everything in the game that you're going to get, and here's the tiny little level, and good luck. And I think that opening demo for Metal Gear Solid 2 does a really good job of that, of just being like, all right, you're Snake, and you've got your stuff, and you know what to do, and there's no one way to do this, and good luck.
Yeah, and I bet you couldn't wait to play Snake in the full release. I know I sure couldn't once I finished the tanker mission, and boy, oh boy, was I content with it.
Yeah, everyone loves that. Speaking of Metal Gear Solid, Hard Snake. Did you see that thing that Hard Snake did?
Did Heartsnake do a thing? Man, Heartsnake just always does things and sneaks on in and sneaks out after he's done them. Maybe you got to show me. What did Heartsnake do?
It was really weird. We were sitting there and I was on stream and Heartsnake called me on my codec. And, I'll just let him.
You were streaming. You should have waited.
The thing is, I can't believe you missed it. Like, I thought you were there, and then suddenly, I don't know, you missed him.
I think I was there. I was watching. It was your Strunch stream, right? Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I just like blacked out for a few minutes, and I don't know. I saw just like flashing colors, and my head hurt when I came to, and I saw I had posted a bunch of emotes in chat. I wasn't really sure what that was about, but
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I guess Heartsnake maybe hit me with a little bit of Fox Die Light. Just took a little snooze.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Here, if you want to know, here's a little snippet of what Heartsnake did.
There's an excitement in VR, and even a sense of reality and urgency. The only difference isn't actually happening. That's the way they want you to think. Remove you from the unexpected that goes with birthday celebrations. Birthdays is a video game. What better way to raise the ultimate partier?
Ratnado, this is the Colonel. I have important information for you. Did you know an anemone, or clematis plant, their juice can cause a rash? When pruning them, it's best to wear gloves.
There it is. Incredible.
Heartsnake, how does he find these people?
I don't know how he got my frequency. I didn't give it to him, so.
I mean, he has all of them available to you. He probably just like scrolled through one by one until he found you.
That's true. I did give him a CD case with it on it.
Yeah. That would do it.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think that I always have so much fun with a demo. I don't know, there's something like fun about it before a game comes out, and I think maybe that's part of the hype. Because I remember the Final Fantasy VII remake demo. I played that like 5 times over because I just loved it so much. And as it turned out, that was the best part of the remake. And not the remake's bad, but that was such a high bar that everyone was like, this is going to be the greatest video game ever. And it's pretty good, but I don't think any of it compares to that first hour of gameplay.
Yeah, I think they did something similar with the Arkham Knight demo, which may have only been at E3, but it was just the Ace Chemicals chapter, which is a great chapter in the game, but, it didn't really, I guess, represent the game as a whole. It was just kind of taking the best part and then making that playable.
Yeah.
Tell me, Ratnado, has a demo on its own ever convinced you to buy the game that you weren't planning on originally?
No, I guess not really. I think maybe at most, as a young child, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, I remember there being like this little demo of that. What turned out to be like a huge game and really good and like still counted as one of the best Star Wars games of all time.
Absolutely. Well, very cool. I mean, Ratnado, at this point in time, we find ourselves in sort of a new age of not even just snippet demos, but full game demos in a limited time frame. Are you familiar with what I'm referring to? It's the whole game is released to you, but only for a to B time. If you play it as much as you want in that time, and then your time runs out, you got to buy it. But the whole thing's free to you. I know they do it on Switch a lot.
I was going to say, well, I do remember one specifically on a disc. It was a demo, and some pioneering young people have beaten it, Ocarina of Time, in 1 minute and 20 seconds.
could this be the Ocarina of Time that is included as a masterpiece in a little fighter called Super Smash Bros. Brawl?
Yeah.
Funny enough, the full game is included for each and every one of those because they're so small. I mean, they're just like, little N64 or SNES and NES games. I mean, they can
4
fit
megabytes.
A whole Wii-gist easy. But yeah, you do have the 5-minute time window, which I think they really capitalized that on the Wii U Smash and 3DS Smash. You had to literally, like, you connected straight to the Nintendo eShop if you wanted to play any more than that. They had a little link for it available to you.
No, joke aside, I just making that joke, SqatCobblr.
Oh,
what were you talking about?
We're joking. I thought we were strictly serious. It is funny. I saw a video about this not too long ago. How back before the Wii. I mean, we did talk about this a little bit in our top 5. We talked about the Virtual Console, and that dropped. It's a huge hit. But before that, they would often just release the entire game in just their new releases. Like Animal Crossing had a ton of NES games that you can unlock in it, the original N64 one. I remember Zero Mission on GBA, you beat that, and then you just had all of Metroid NES available to you. That's kind of fallen off now because they realized they can actually get you to pay, $5 for for each of these instead of just having it as a bonus unlockable. But
Yeah.
I don't know, different era, I guess. But I don't know if you wouldn't really call it a demo; you'd call it as a bonus content. But nonetheless, it's you do get a little sampling. There, I suppose.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, and especially kids, now adults play video games. Adults have money, and I think that's kind of why that's changed. But I also have a lot of good memories, and like I was always thankful to go to the store, to Walmart, to Target, and my parents would go and walk around and look at all their boring stuff, and me and Teo would sit there at the Walmart TV with the 2 consoles that you can't move up or down. They're stuck right there. You can move them up and down a little bit, but that's about it. And craning our necks back and staring up for 45 minutes, however long it took for my parents to walk around, and playing so many games. A lot of games I really like now. I remember like Super Mario being like one of the main games they always put in there, and just having so much fun with that.
Grand old time, just running around, wahooing. Good memories, to be sure. We almost forgot to mention the McDonald's N64 kiosk.
I was gonna say earlier.
It's all the fun of playing games in a game section of a department store, but in a smelly fast food joint. Ratnado, this of course being before McDonald's has rebranded itself as some pseudo cafe with all its architecture changing, and it knew what it was back.
Yeah, and we loved that. I love just grabbing onto that greasy, nasty N64 or GameCube controller and just having a good time. Well, hey, those are some of the memories we've had. That's just a demo of our thoughts and our times and our memories. Thank you so much for joining me here, SqatCobblr, this week on this week's episode of Scrolls.
Absolutely. I'm happy to demonstrate my knowledge on this topic. Ratnado, what you playing as we begin this summer season?
So, I know everyone's gonna hate this. I'm sorry. Look, I'm kind of just trying to play some stuff. I'm almost done. We got the Final Fantasy 14 with the Choo Choo Raiders. 8 of us, Choo Choo Raiders strong. We're having a fun time there. Getting
almost
some new
the
friends.
1-year anniversary of the Choo Choo gang, Raiders, boys, whatever they're calling themselves these days. The clan that goes by Choo Choo.
Yeah. Vivian, you really screwed me over there. It's not that I had a lot I could do with bad internet. I'd be still working my way through one game as it crashes every 20 or 30 minutes. So yeah, we've got that going on. I am going to play through Final Fantasy 16. Oh God, please work internet. I hope. And then after that, I'm jumping into Yakuza 0.
Ooh.
And yeah. And there's also something else. I can't remember. I've decided July is also Vivian Choice Month.
Oh, as opposed to the rest of the year?
As opposed to the rest of the year, yeah. I mean, that was my choice, to be fair, but she wants me to play Metroid Prime on GameCube.
Ooh, the GameCube version. Oh, okay. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you gotta play it on that. I'm like, I could do remastered. She's like, no.
Vivian
GameCube.
And I rarely have any rubs when it comes to Metroid, the Troid, but I would very much so be in a disagreement with Vivian on this matter. Metroid Prime Remastered is the best way to play it on console, unless we're talking other means, in which case it's Prime Hack on PC.
I hear you, and I think that's kind of the point.
Well, it is how it was originally intended, so you're a purist. You might even be feeding into the nostalgists out there, but I'll say this. I've played about 5 minutes of Metroid Prime 2, the GameCube version, and I had to stop because of how much I dislike the controls, so I think that they drastically improve them for both the Wii release and for the Switch release, so
yeah.
I'll watch it nonetheless, Ratnado, right? I mean, hey, Rat playing Metroid, I'm there day one.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah. That might be like a once a week thing. So, that'll be easy. And then, like I said, I want to go through all the Yakuza games and who knows, just other stuff peppered throughout.
Excellent work. Okay.
What about you, SqatCobblr?
Well, Ratnado, I myself have been on a little bit of a break from streaming. If you guys haven't noticed, I was moving apartments, but it may soon be the return of the SqatCobblr streams. That said, the Let's Plays are already back. They're happening on the YouTube channel, and it's long requested, long Cinnamon demanded, playing through The Last of Us, the PS3 version for the first time. So be sure to check that out if you're into that game at all. If you want to see a first time reaction from one monkey who's avoided this game for a decade somehow. I mean, pretty purposely avoided it, I guess. It wasn't it had to have been an active choice at a point, right? Like, it was only so much exposure.
Yeah,
but that's happening. So far so good. Only just a little past tutorial into the first chapter, going after some guy named Robert. So that's cool. But we'll see what that means soon enough. As far as the streams go, I'm going to be starting a brand new game. First time playthrough for me. Should I reveal it here on Scrolly? Should I say what it will be?
This is the place. If you, I mean, yeah,
do you
world
folks
exclusive.
Want a sneak peek of what the next SqatCobblr stream is? Because I don't know if you're ready. I really don't know if I'm ready. Because it is a first-person shooter.
Whoa.
One of my least favorite genres, right there with numbers games. Ratnado knows so well. I am playing BioShock for the first time.
Ooh, fun.
So I've heard nothing but great things about this game. Just about every game that's kind of retro-esque and takes place underwater is compared to BioShock at a point. So I feel like it is long overdue that I give it a go. So that'll be starting probably next week.
BioShock's great. All right. Well, thank you so much. Check us out here. Check us out on our places. YouTube.com/@SqatCobblr, Twitch TV/@Team Ratnado. And thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later.